what it means to be an American. America is freedom, and freedom is special and rare.
We, the people of this great nation.
The only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
We, the people of this great nation.
Good evening, my fellow Americans. I wasn't really planning on doing a podcast today, but I got inspired. I was giving thanks for all the wonderful things that are happening right now for our president. I was giving thanks to the fact that we got through a tough year so far economically. And also, COVID-wise, a lot of deaths that I wish we could have gone back through time and figured out a way to save all those people. But unfortunately, it was something that came unexpected. And I think our president handled it the best of his ability. That being said, I think that today is a special day. It's a day that we should be with our families, not away from our families. And it's a day that we should be celebrating America and how we managed to survive those horrifying winters when the Pilgrims first got here. And it's just a great day in America. It's a day you give thanks for everything you have, everything you might have in the future, and just the fact that we're alive today and breathing and able to just enjoy the fruits of this beautiful country that provides so much for so many of us. We have a guest. He's a usual guest, a guest that you guys are very familiar with, my QAnon buddy, Chris. Chris, are you there?
Yes, sir.
What's up? What's up, buddy? So a lot of things have occurred. There was another filing that was filed by Sidney Powell. Apparently, she is, I guess what everybody's saying, releasing the Kraken. Man, they have a really, I didn't know the fraud led to this level. I mean, it's beyond my understanding. Like, apparently they mailed out 1.8 million in Pennsylvania, in your great state. 1.8 million ballots were mailed out. 2.5 million were counted. How does that happen? Now there's a kid, and she pointed out in Georgia, for example, in Georgia there was a witness that was presented in her case, in Sidney Powell's case, where she looked at them counting ballots that, these ballots do have marks on them, and not necessarily watermarks that Donald Trump prepared or anything like that. But they have marks to make them, legitimate. And she said, and one of the witnesses said that they looked like they were photocopied. Like they didn't look like original, like the other watermarks that were on the documents. And she saw them processing. And when she went to one of her superiors, they said, no, that's fine. That's just a printing error. So yeah, there's a lot of discrepancies there, especially when the vote is only like under 12,000. So yeah, I'm starting to be a little more optimistic. Although I'm not seeing the attention that it should be getting through at least Fox News. I'm telling you, I'm not feeling Fox News lately. I'm not feeling it at all.
I'm not either. Not at all.
They're definitely not reporting news. I mean, Rudy Giuliani's victory in court, that was a victory. I don't care how you look at it. It was heard, and they stopped the certification in Pennsylvania. That's a big deal. Until they see all the witnesses. Now they're allowing.
That is huge.
They're allowing the witnesses. Now, could it be a Democratic strategy to maybe slow down the process? I don't know. Andrew Cuomo lost last night as well. In the middle of the night, he lost the Supreme Court voted against him, of course. Roberts, as usual, the liberal, because I do not think that guy is a Republican by any means, ruled in favor, and the other five ruled. He opposed, and the other five ruled in favor. Thank you, ACB, Amy Coney Barrett. I love you. You are a God gift to us in the Supreme Court, and you will be our checks and balances, apparently, because Roberts, we cannot count on him for anything. He will always vote left. Must be paid by somebody. Because, he's...
Hey, it's not even... It's
it's not even voting right or left. The fact is, basically, the right is looking for the truth and wants you to abide by the law. So, the left just wants you to make up shit just for their own, agenda. And they expect the judges to do this. And, Barrett, Gorsuch, and what's his name? The other one. They want to just, deal with the law the way it's supposed to be, the way it's said, the way it's written. And, that's what's going to happen. It's just the way it is. And it's honest, legal. That's exactly what it is. And that's not what these liberals want. They want you just to make up shit, according to...
I mean, look, I'm a believer now. I mean, I've always felt like there was fraud. I never denied the fact. My whole worry was, were they able to prove it in court? That was always my biggest struggle, my biggest worried. So on another subject, I just wanted to talk to you about this because this is funny. I'm going through like a little parlor war here with the Proud Boys, apparently. Apparently, I've been getting quite a lot of attention because I posted up a video earlier today, saying that happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I'm a proud man, not a proud boy. And apparently that got their attention and that got them a little upset. Specifically the chairman, Enrique Tarrio. Now, that being said, I just want to clear the record. I'm not going to mention the Proud Boys again because they're not really worth my time or my energy because personally, I don't think they're doing any good for anybody. I don't think they're really helping Americans. I think they're getting a lot of attention and they're enjoying the attention they're getting. It's a group of boys, as they're labeled, Proud Boys. I'm a proud American man. I don't consider myself a boy by no means. I'm just going to break it down and I'm going to end this conversation. The Proud Boys right now, their chairman, the guy that is the leader of their organization, is one, an ex-convict, which is fine. I have my past too. You have your past. We all have our pasts. That's okay. But he cooperated with the government against his own friends on his case. Now, let me tell you why that's important. The reason that's important is because he was only facing 2 years of federal prison. And he got a 9-month sentence. That means he couldn't handle 2 years of federal prison. I mean, I understand. I can justify perhaps some people who cooperate that are facing 15, 20 years, 30 years. But when you're facing 2 years and you're willing to take down your friends, Proud Boys, you might want to think about who you want as your chairman, especially when you guys are being considered a domestic terrorist group by some of the left. You guys should probably be a little concerned that the leader of your organization told on his own friends. And that being said, he was posting little comments that I know they were indirect to me, which is fine. See, when I don't have respect when the chairman of an organization lives in his grandparents' house and pretends as if he's a successful entrepreneur businessman. No, he is not. He's a fraud. He lives in his grandfather's house because I know exactly where he lives. And he's basically taken over his whole grandfather's house. I mean, his grandfather has like a corner in the house and he's pretty much, his grandfather lets him do whatever he wants. So that is the story behind the chairman of the Proud Boys. I have nothing against the organization. I just don't believe in any groups. I don't think Americans should subcategorize themselves. I think if you're a patriot, you're a patriot. If you're an American and you love America, you love America and you're an American. That it's as simple as that. I don't condone any groups that incite violence in any which way. I think that if there was a situation where I see somebody wearing a MAGA hat getting beat up, I'm going to defend them just because they're Americans, not because of any other reason, not because I'm a proud boy trying to protect. They didn't protect anybody. I haven't seen one video of them protecting anyone. Not one. And boy, have I done research. I mean, I've tried to find videos. I've only seen videos of them chanting "Fuck Antifa," and that's about it. And then I see them selling merchandise. So that pretty much boils down their entire organization. Merchandise, group of guys wearing bulletproof vests or pretend bulletproof vests, and walking down the streets like a fraternity. Obviously, a bunch of guys, that are proud of being American, and that's great. I do love seeing people being proud of being American, and that's a great thing. But yeah, maybe consider different leadership, considering that you guys are being classified by some Democrats as the domestic terrorist group. Yeah, a guy that cooperated facing 2 years, imagine him facing 10. The whole organization will collapse if this man just gets questioned one time by the feds. Just some advice for those Proud Boys out there. That's why I do not join any organizations. I'm part of one organization, which is the Republican Party, and that's it. And I am an American, bottom line. That was just a little message I had to send out there because I don't understand what their anger is towards me because I say my opinion. Apparently, they forgot that they claim that they fight for people's First Amendment right and not censoring them, but they're kind of doing that to me. But difference between me and some other people, I don't get scared, and I'm not worried. I'm not concerned. Like I said, I'm not a proud boy. I'm a proud man. So I don't get scared easily. So that being said, let's jump to what you wanted to talk about because you had a particular subject that I know you wanted to jump on. So let's get right to it. What's your subjects? Go ahead. The floor's yours.
Viruses.
Happy Thanksgiving, by the way.
Oh yeah, happy Thanksgiving to you, bud. So, my sister's a biolab technician. She's been a nurse for over 30 years, and also I spoke to a few other professionals, and they explained to me that COVID is basically, it's like a complete lie. It says that these viruses are not contagious. Okay. What I actually wrote down what they said. They said viruses are created by the body to clean itself when friendly bacteria can no longer break down all the waste. All viruses are good viruses, being necessary cellular responses. Viruses are like a solvent or soap made by cells to help dissolve and eliminate toxins. A solvent is something that will make the solute, that means the thing to be dissolved, turn into a solution, which is a liquid. And viruses are specific to the cell that created them. Viruses cannot cross species. Viruses do not exist outside of the bodies. And the only way that a virus can cross species is if it's made in a factory and injected via extracted, kept in a lab, genetically altered and modified, weaponized in a vaccine. That's the only way you can get a virus that is going to hurt you.
Then what? How do you explain the 250,000 people that have died, and the people that are sick in the ICUs? I've talked to lots of medical professionals that are on the ground dealing with this. I spoke to somebody in El Paso, Texas, a doctor, and she was telling me their ERs are jam-packed with people not being able to breathe, having real severe symptoms. They're recovering. Granted, they're recovering thanks to Donald Trump and his therapeutics and the push and deregulating a lot of the FDA.
It's not a virus. It's not a virus.
Then what is it?
And they stated that they think it's a bacteria infection. Now, they said that, you can look under, there's a Dr. Andrew Kaufman and Dr. Stefan Lanka. I think it's both Cowan and Kaufman. They discussed the tests that are used, that were done after the 1918 Spanish flu. And, they've done extensive research, and they says it's all a complete lie. They said they are trying to scare the heck out of you, thinking that every virus is going to kill you. Soon it's going to be the flu. Soon they're going to sit there and try to, lock you down for the flu.
I just don't. I understand. Look, I understand what you're saying. I can understand the science that you're explaining to me. So what, is this a contagious bacteria is what you're saying?
Bacteria is contagious. Bacteria is the only thing that can be contagious. No virus is contagious. The virus is actually...
So what you're trying to say is basically it's a bacteria, and once it gets in your system, it becomes a virus. Exactly.
Yep.
Okay, well, that still doesn't take away the fact that it's contagious as shit. I mean, it's obviously...
But it's not.
It's a virus. Okay, maybe it's a bacteria, but it's still a contagious bacteria. It's something that we need to...
Well,
it's real.
Well, they're not saying that it's a bacteria either. They're just saying that's the only way it can be contagious, if there's a bacteria. That's the only way.
I don't understand it, because then how are so many people getting sick at such a rapid speed?
I mean, dude, there is so much shit going on. You got chemtrails. There's just all kinds of crazy stuff going on, man. In this air,
Listen, if this was
you're driving through food. All
Okay,
kinds of stuff, man.
if
There's a
if
lot of
this was
chemicals in everything you're eating.
if this is a hoax, then the whole world is in on it, because it's not just killing Americans.
Well, from what I understand, COVID-19 is what do they call it? A business, and it's all over the world, and everybody's making some big money off it. It's a franchise. I think that's what I explained to you before. But I'm not saying I know anything about that. That's what I've read. So they're going to keep trying to push us, and they're expecting us to fight back, just like we are now. And they have the plan. They have the plan to change things. I don't have the order, but I had it from before. I'll get it next time I'm on. There's a certain order that they're going by. Once we start fighting, then they're going to do this. Then they're going to do this. Then they're going to make it come out twice. 10 times harder. And what they're doing is they're messing with the counts. Where they're saying, this was from COVID, just like they did before in New York. This was from COVID. The person died from COVID, and they didn't die from COVID. They had a lot of different symptoms already. From illnesses already. Lots of meds you're on. You know what I mean? And when you hit a certain age, today, like an old person is basically dying at like 78 years old. So these patients are like, 70s. They're dying. It could be so many different causes. It's not COVID. It's complete BS. Complete. Anybody I know ever had a positive test of COVID was not sick. They might have had a sore throat here and there, whatever, which is basically anything you get sick, you get a sore throat or whatever, cold. And from what I understand, this is what's happening. You have any kind of sickness and you get a test for COVID, you're going to come up positive. It's complete BS. Like I said, that's what she learned in virology, whatever it's called. It's basically about viruses that you learn, and she learned that from day one, that you can't catch a virus. It's impossible. They're not contagious. They don't kill you. Virus is what cleanses your body of the bad bacteria and the bad things in your body, the chemicals and everything that your body needs to the waste that your body needs to get rid of. That's what it is. That's what a virus is. That's what your body does. It's like a natural cleanser for your body. It's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. And you get a fever, no matter what. There's nothing you can do about that fever. You got to tell that pass.
You have to tell that to 250,000 people that have died.
You know what? I think Donald Trump knows about this. I think he can't say anything about it because the Dems will just
You think Trump cares about what the Dems are going to do? Give me a fucking break. Donald Trump has been fighting the Dems for 4 years strong and still fighting them.
10 times worse on them.
By the way, may I add, he actually spoke to reporters today. He actually said, he goes, if Joe Biden wins the Electoral College legally, that he will leave he certainly will leave the White House.
Well,
he goes,
but he goes, how positive he is that it's not legal.
He goes, it's going to be a very hard thing to concede. He goes, because there's so much massive fraud. He goes, a lot can happen between now and January 20th. So, he's going to start campaigning, which is good. He's going to go out there and campaign for the senators. Saturday, he's going to start campaigning for the senators over there in Georgia. But I actually strongly believe he's got a case. I really strongly believe he's got a case. For those of you who thought I had lost some faith, I'm getting a little bit hopeful. I'm not going to say I'm 100% there, but look, there is fraud. There is fraud. Fraud definitely occurred. Okay, 80 million people did not vote for Joe Biden. I guarantee you that. There is no way Joe Biden won the election, yet he's won less counties than any presidential candidate in our time.
Jay,
how is that humanly possible? He lost all the bellwether, all the bell. I always pronounce it, but he lost every single county that I have a brain fart. I've been dealing with so much today because of I'm tired. I drank a couple beers, and you know,
So
it's
what was it? What were their numbers for Philadelphia? They said something like 3,000 for Trump and
3,200.
and how much for Biden?
Huh?
It was like 100,000 or something, or 200 or something. I forget what it was.
3,200 for Biden, like 500 and something thousand for. I mean, mathematically, it would be literally impossible. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back.
Do you feel homeless in today's American political world? Not really into either candidate or party? Well, guess what? You're not alone. Join me and others just like you across this great country for a discussion of politics from a viewpoint that you can't find in today's media. The Middle. I'm your host, Brian Grozier, and I invite you to join in on the discussion by downloading and listening to the Middle American Podcast.
Yeah, Biden got like a couple 100,000, right? According to what they're saying. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Trump only got like 3,000 or some shit like that. I mean, and I explained to you before. I think Biden won about 0.25% of 100%. You know,
Look,
like a quarter of it.
Look. Joe Biden, okay, listen to this. Candidate Joe Biden was so effective at animating voters in 2020 that he received a record number of votes, more than 15 million more than Barack Obama received in 2000 re-election in 2012. Amazingly, he managed to secure victory while also losing in almost every bellwether county across the country. No presidential candidate has been capable of such electoral jiu-jitsu until now. While Biden underperformed Hillary Clinton's 2016 totals in every urban county in the United States, he outperformed her in metropolitan areas in Georgia, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. Even more surprising, the former VP put up a record haul of votes despite Democrats' general failures in local House and state legislative seats across the nation. He accomplished all this after receiving a record low share of the primary vote compared to his Republican opponent heading into the general election. Clearly, these are tremendous and unexpected achievements that would normally receive sophisticated analysts from journalist class, but have somehow gone mostly unmentioned during the celebrations. Basically, it's impossible that he won the election, bro. That was from the Federalist. One of the few legitimate newspapers we still have. I mean, listen. He fucking lost. He lost the election. We all know it. Wyoming governor test positive.
Yeah, he didn't just lose, dude. He got destroyed. He got murdered. That's how bad he got. He lost this election. And the thing that cracks me up is the people that voted him are people that are like praising him are like, you know, you see all the fraud. You see it on TV, exactly what they're talking. These pollsters, you know, dealt with. Like, don't you even have like a mind where you just think maybe something was a little wrong here? Like, not everything, but like maybe, you know, just think something. But they're so fucking brainwashed.
There's no getting across to these people. No, you can show them the evidence right there in their fucking face, and they're not going to accept it because they rigged it.
I don't understand it, man.
Because they rigged it. How can they accept something when they're the ones that are responsible for it?
No, I'm talking about just regular people, everyday
people.
Listen,
there's no fucking way on earth that any of these people, Democrats as well, see Joe Biden winning this election. They know that he didn't win. They're just happy that they won, and they can care less if the democracy falls apart, if our voting system was frauded to the max. They don't care because they just wanted Trump out. As they say, they wanted Orange Man out. And they can care less what collapses. I mean, and then this irrelevant fuck, Obama, who's the worst president of our time, yet still stands there and he's trying to be relevant. You know what he's doing? He's selling books. All these people do is sell books right during election time. And they call Donald Trump a narcissist. This is a man that has written 2 books about himself.
Of course.
Who
Beyond.
writes 2 books about himself? That's how highly he thinks of himself. The thing with Obama, his gift is he's got the gift of gab. He's got a gift
Well,
where he
that's it.
talks
Well, a lot of gays do. A lot of gays do. A lot of gays do.
Don't say comments like that. I'm
they
for
do.
I'm for the LGBTQ community. I'm not
I
against.
have no problem.
Yeah.
I'm not for LGBT. I'm not for them. I don't.
I
you know,
believe
I-
every
I
American
don't-
deserves to have their
I don't
rights.
discriminate against them. I think we're all Americans. Yeah. I
No,
got
well,
friends that
you
are
are.
gay.
That was
No
a
problem with
very very racist comment.
It's not being racist. He is. He's gay.
I
If
mean,
you're
come
gay
on,
and
Chris.
proud, just say it.
Chris, you're look.
If you're gay and proud,
First
just
of
say
all,
it.
you're going back to your whole Michelle Obama conspiracy as she's a man.
Michelle is Michael. Michelle is not Michelle.
Okay,
Michelle is Michael.
okay. Listen, let's cut that part out. Okay, let's
I'm
let's
telling
just.
you.
You
I'm
are
telling
you are
you.
talking there. There you go. You lost all credibility from the prior conversation we had.
I'm just telling you, man. I can't help it, man.
You know,
I
I find
sent you
it
some
quite
stuff today.
I find it quite ironic that Obama spoke the other day and he actually said that the reason that he thinks Hispanics are so stupid that we voted for Donald Trump
He's
because
just
of
trying to brainwash you. That's all he's trying to do.
religious beliefs and because we're anti, we're so religious that we don't believe in homosexuality and all that. Did he forget that Donald Trump is the first president ever elected supporting the LGBTQ community? Because he wasn't
course.
supporting it. Barack
supports
Obama did.
Americans.
He didn't support. He didn't support the LGBTQ community at all. In any which way did he support them? He supported them towards the end of his second term. He ran against gay marriage when he ran for president the first time.
Well, yeah.
But
of
everybody
course.
forgets
That's what
that
he-
because it's Obama. Obama
yeah,
can do what
that's
he
what
wants.
He had to look like he's doing.
I mean, Obama. No, it's not what he looks like he has to be doing. It's because Obama's a flip
The
flopper.
real
He's
Obama
full of
came
shit.
out the second term.
No, it's not that. It's just Obama he's a flip flopper. He's your typical Democrat that wants to be known for doing something because he had no accomplishments under his belt. He needed to prove something. So failure after failure, he finally has to complete something. He has to do something. So his main 2 things were Obamacare and approving, getting gay marriage approved to the Supreme Court. I believe, right? To the Supreme Court it went through?
Yeah. Well, I don't even want to give him, any kind of time of talking about him anyway. So.
Well, he mentioned
You know.
our president, so I'm going to mention him. I'm going to
Yeah,
criticize
but-
him for the piece of shit that he was and is.
Yeah, he doesn't deserve any time on any radio. So, I say we don't even talk about his ass. That's pretty much about it. So, so what about Sidney Powell? Supposedly, I don't know. I think 1 or 2.
She filed a late.
witnesses
She
aren't
filed.
showing
She
up.
filed another lawsuit late tonight. I don't know
Right,
what it is.
right.
I don't know what it consists of.
2 of them
But
can't show up for a reason, but they said they would still give the affidavit, this and that. So.
I
they
mean,
would-
she's
they would,
gonna
go
continue to fight, and that lady is a fighter.
yeah.
I mean, and then the kid,
wins.
the
She
lawyer that represents the lawyer that represented that kid. What's his name?
Oh damn.
I believe his name is Tom Fitton, the lawyer. That represented the mega kid, the kid that was wearing the mega hat, and they
Yeah, the one
falsely
that got that
accused it.
shot the Antifas.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
kid that was wearing the mega hat and the Native American was playing the
Oh, yeah, from the college, yeah.
well,
about him?
yeah, he filed some lawsuits as well. He says a lot of people in Georgia are
Oh,
going
yeah?
to jail.
Oh,
He says,
Really?
yeah, he's on Trump's team.
Oh,
He's
shit.
he's on Trump's team. I mean,
What, the lawyer, you mean?
huh?
The lawyer is, you mean? You know, some of the kids, some of the lawyer, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm talking about the
Yeah.
lawyer.
Okay. Yeah. That's one. No shit. Okay. That's a good thing. I'm telling you,
I
man,
mean, they're
like-
finding issues everywhere, man. They're even finding these issues in Hawaii. I mean, this shit is
I'm telling you,
crazy.
Listen, man, I explained to you, man, I have a feeling, my intuition tells me these issues are everywhere. I think California, I think everywhere. I think that this is a major rigged election from everyone. I think there's so many Trump supporters this time. Like I said, I think he won California. I really do. Even though you think it's complete liberal, I think it changed this time.
You know, it's
I've heard
funny.
There's a lot of people in California that are
I'm
so
looking
against
I'm
this
looking
liberal.
at Robert De Niro's comments. This guy is a clown, man. Apparently this guy's confusing movies with reality. He's actually saying that Trump followers should be very scared when he's not around. Why? Because we should be scared of guys like him? Apparently he thinks he's really the mobster he plays in movies. That old man can't even, I mean, I can blow and he'll fall. I mean, are you fucking kidding me? I mean, who are we supposed to be worried about?
No,
I mean,
he's not
these
saying
threats
worry about him. He's saying worry about the deep state that's going to come out because Trump's not president anymore. That's what he's saying.
Well, he's saying that Trump supporters are basically gonna, he's basically, Trump supporters are gonna be treated like shit. They're gonna be pursued. Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, because you got AOC. AOC's the one that said it. You heard her. She said that we should be targeted.
I mean, they could target me all they want. I'm ready.
I know.
I'm ready.
They have no clue what they're getting themselves into, man. They can target.
I mean, if they want to target anybody, go ahead, target me, man. I'll take the heat for every American. I don't care. I'm not afraid of anybody. I bleed red, white, and blue, man. I don't care. I don't care. I've always been a strong Republican. I've always voted red, and only based on principle alone.
But the fact here is that's a threat to like every American. Like she should be in jail for that, man. Like she's doing it on TV. Online she's saying it.
Okay, so Sidney Powell basically her lawsuit, files a suit. Oh shit. Okay, so she just filed a lawsuit in Michigan, alleging Dominion computer fraud and illegal conduct by electorals. She also filed one in Okay, I agree. Do you agree this election was rigged? Okay. Trump won. I mean, every single person's talking about it. Every single person's talking about it. I mean, and Twitter's going crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, because they're losing followers, and Parler's taking a bunch, and like pretty soon they're going to be obsolete.
Can I be honest with you though? Parler's a little extreme. It's a little extreme. These people, man, they're not any different than the left. If you don't get along with somebody on the right, they hunt you down. They fucking, I mean, it's crazy. Like it's on both sides, dude. This isn't just one-sided. I don't know at what point are we all gonna finally unite, man? Even after this election, because this country's so fucking divided, and we can't be divided like this. I mean, imagine how well we're doing under Trump with a divided country. Imagine if we were all divided and on the same page. We're gonna have our differences, of course, but
the division came from the Democrats completely. Everything Trump said, did everything good, they would change everything into some kind of remarks of discrimination, of racism. You know what I mean? Like everything that Trump did good, everything. They started and they continue it every damn day. Their racism, and that's what created everything. All this BS with this division, it's all from them.
It's from You want me to tell you who I honestly believe is the cause of all this? The media, man. The media should be held accountable.
But they own the media. They're the biggest part of the media.
You know
that.
By the way, a friendly reminder to people. George Bush in 2000, just so people know this, because a lot of people don't know this, he lost all his lower court cases in 2000 before he won it through the Supreme Court. Just so you guys know. So what's happening to Trump right now happened to George Bush as well, and he still took it. Just letting you know, circumstances are different right now because this is a much bigger battle than what we had before. So, but again, I mean, I'm just looking at stuff that AOC says. This girl is a clown. This girl is a clown.
She's just, listen, it's not that she's a moron. She's a moron, but it's not even that. She's an evil moron. You know what I mean? She has some power behind her. I don't know where the hell they're giving this squad the power. These four.
You want me to tell you who?
Racist,
you want me to tell you who?
Freaking jihadists.
You want me to tell you who? Fox fucking News. That's who. The Republicans. The Republicans are to blame for this. No one else. Nobody paid attention to AOC. The Democrats would have wiped their. Listen, the Democrats would have cleaned.
Her the power.
They're not. They're responding. They're responding.
Letting them get away with everything, Jay.
They're responding to the fame that the Republicans gave AOC. She was a rookie that just came in. No one knew who the fuck she was till the Republicans were talking about all her erratic views and her socialist views. They gave her the power. They gave her the following, and that's where it all happened. It all started with Republicans. When something doesn't feel right, you let it sink by itself. You don't bring
Jay,
attention to something.
Think about this, Jay. They say she has how many, 10 million followers or something like that on Twitter, something like that.
She has a lot.
I think that's what she.
I don't know how many she has,
but the
she has
thing
a lot.
is, but think about this. You know, Twitter, they completely made conservatives obsolete. You know that. So what makes you think that they didn't build her up? And these are a lot of fake bots too. You know what I mean?
I mean, look, Twitter has a setup.
You know that happened.
Yeah, I know. You can buy followers, but she gets the views. It's not even. She goes live and she has millions of people viewing her live. You can't make fake lives.
You know there's ways to do that.
No, there's not.
You know Twitter can do something with that.
No, because she's getting people are engaging with her. Listen, not everything is a fucking conspiracy theory, man.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying
she's popular. She's popular. Look, she's young.
Face to face with her, dude.
She's young. She's fresh. She's new. She's just like Donald Trump in a version, but obviously a socialist version. But she's an outsider.
You really got to stop that because she's not near Donald Trump.
Listen, she is.
Not near
she is. They're both outsiders.
No, she's not, Jay.
They're both completely on a different political platform. Like they both believe in completely different things.
No, she doesn't
Chris,
believe anything that he believes in.
Listen. They're both outsiders. She's the only. She started. She came into Congress being a fucking socialist. Donald Trump came into the presidency being a businessman. Complete outsiders, completely the opposite of what these institutionalists and these people that have been sitting in these seats forever are used to. So yeah, they're both outsiders.
Okay.
They're different.
That's the only thing that makes them like each other.
That's what I'm saying. They're both different.
Okay.
In the sense that they're both new. Nobody's seen something like this before.
Yeah.
Bernie Sanders was looked at like a crazy guy. He's been ignored the whole time. He's just been sitting there with his weird political views, but nobody paid attention to Bernie Sanders till 2016. Nobody cared about what Bernie Sanders was saying or preaching, or nobody gave three fucks about Bernie Sanders.
Right. But the fact here is, it wasn't just Fox. The Democrats let this squad take over. I don't know. Something's up, man. I have a feeling they are being paid by not the deep state, the Soros, and you know what I mean. I think they're a big part of them or something, and somehow they know that they can't mess with them. Like they'll just be destroyed if they do, and it's just something's just weird about them. I don't know what it is. I think there should be a big investigation. I hope when this all gets cleared out, I hope there's a huge investigation in this voter fraud, and I guarantee you're going to see some serious, Democrats and crazy ass politicians involved in this. China's probably involved. It's probably a big conspiracy. I would not be surprised. Like a legit conspiracy, like racketeering.
I mean, look.
I mean, this is absolutely this is the most prominent crime ever.
I mean, look.
And the thing is, the Democrats know.
I don't want to
Democrats know.
think. I don't want to think that it's something that big. I don't want to think it's something to that level, because I don't want to get into like these weird conspiracy theories. You know what I mean? I just
it's
don't.
not about the theory. I just know. I'm just saying my opinion. My intuition tells me that there's a big racketeering criminal, underground thing here. I'm telling you, there's something, a big enterprise. I mean, this is all over the world. This is, here. I mean, I think this is just a big conspiracy.
I don't know. I know that the Prime Minister of Hungarian Prime Minister says that the most corrupt man on this planet is George Soros. I don't know much about him. I just found out a little bit about him today. Apparently, he was involved in real estate. He's actually half Jewish and half Hungarian. I mean, I forgot where he's from. But he is Jewish.
Right.
He is Jewish.
Right.
So it kind of I find it kind of odd. I don't know much about him. I know this much. They robbed the election. I just don't know if how bad it is, because till the evidence is out there and courts see it and they actually get an official number,
right?
Then we'll know the truth.
Well, I think if
because apparently the FBI doesn't give a fuck. That's apparent. Apparently the FBI can care less. Bill Barr's hiding out. I don't know if he's in there with Joe Biden in the bunker, but he's apparently somewhere.
Like I said, I don't think so. I think he's.
He has not done shit. Listen, he has not done shit.
I think he's doing stuff on the side.
I don't think he's doing anything. I had a little faith in him, and I don't. He's not. He doesn't stand up to big court. Like he doesn't stand up. He's not a tough. He's not a tough AG like I thought he was. I thought I would have expected that he was a tougher AG, but apparently he's not as tough as I thought he was.
I don't agree. I think he's doing stuff behind the scenes. I think shit's gonna come out.
And this is pretty good. Apparently Mexico's president understands the Constitution better than Joe Biden does, because he's refusing to recognize Biden's win.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he said not until everything
New Mexico?
No, Mexico, as in the country Mexico.
Yeah. Oh.
So apparently he knows the U.S. Constitution better than Joe Biden and his cabinet. He knows that until it's official, we don't know yet. So apparently people are saying.
I think the Democrats did not care. They did shit so sloppy because they figure if they win, and they can pull it off. And if they don't win, they're done. They know that there's a lot of politicians going away. They know a lot of people are going away, going to jail for life or maybe even death by treason. They know some serious shit's going to happen if they don't take this election and make Joe Biden a president and hopefully win the Senate, but at least have the House. They know it. So they don't care. They just no holds barred. And you could tell how sloppy they were. Completely sloppy. Nothing was even like, it was planned, but not, a real plan, It was just like a quick plan.
I don't. I'm sorry to tell you, but in order for this to have been a quick plan, I highly doubt it. If this was at the level that they're saying it is, this was very, very well calculated. This was far from being.
But I don't think it was calculated the way it should have been. To that point where it's impossible to catch. Because they just did they not think about like witnesses? Did they not think about pollsters? Did they not think about like you're just going to see all these ballots like just sitting there, thousands of them? Hundreds of thousands. Like they knew that Trump is on top of everything. I mean, how could they even think that like they would get away with this? Like, it's absolutely crazy. I just, like I said, I predict that Trump's going to be our president again, and I think there's going to be some serious shit going on after this. I think a lot of people are going to go to jail. So,
Listen,
it seems far-fetched,
I hope you are 100% correct. I hope you are 100% accurate. And I hope you're right. I mean, what else can I tell you? I mean, I mean, it would be a beautiful thing. It would be a beautiful thing to see the election overturned legally because fraud was committed and exposing the left for what they've done. So, I mean, that would be, to me, the greatest thing that can happen for Americans and for America in general. So this never happens to any other president ever again.
But the fact is that there was so much fraud, and every American knows the fraud that they've seen on TV, live, about the people talking about the fraud, and they see all the lawsuits going through now. The people wouldn't just waste their time. They're not just these lawsuits that are made up. I mean, there is legit proof on this, and it's there. Like, Americans aren't going to take this. If Trump is not president, there's going to be a civil war, man. I'm telling you.
I mean, I don't know that.
care.
I wouldn't want that, but I mean, unless it's legitimate,
but
and there's a reasoning, I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening.
I do. I really do. They know Biden didn't win. They know it was a complete fixed election. They know it.
Well, I mean, the more stuff comes out, the more it's gonna be official, and they're gonna have to admit to the truth. I mean, if stuff keeps coming out like this, and people are starting to acknowledge this, at some point the people have spoken, and they're gonna retract a lot of votes. I mean, they're gonna change everything, and they're not gonna certify a lot of these states. Nevada's having some issues right now. Arizona has issues. All these swing states, it's almost like they handpicked the states. And unfortunately, it's sad to say this. It's sad to say this, but they utilized the black community. What they did was they basically went into the black communities and the Hispanic ones, which is Maricopa County, Phoenix. And basically what they did was they used the black community as a cover-up, as if they voted all these votes, and this is why he won. And this all goes back, if you really think about it, it all goes back to BLM. And they're going to use the argument that because of Black Lives Matter, this happened. Black voters could have gone out there and voted a lot. But again, they're only a 12% of the population. They're only a 12% of the population. And Trump actually won an overwhelming amount of black support, more than he did in 2016. So still doesn't add up. I think that they just went to the cities that they knew that they could probably overinflate, and that's exactly what they did. Well, with that being said,
there's proof of actual.
Go finish your last statement.
There's proof of actual fraud where I forget who it was. It was I don't know if it was a congresswoman or if it was somebody in the Democratic Party that was actually going around, and actually they would prey on like old people and like people from different countries that were citizens, and they would basically tell them what they're voting.
I mean, a lot of people did that. There was people outside doing that weren't even Congress people. But you have to give me names. You can't just give me just a congresswoman. I mean, come on.
No, I know. I'll get it for you. I read about it. They had the name and everything. I think FBI might have grabbed her, or they're about to grab her or something. I don't know.
Okay, there you go, making assumptions. And when you make assumptions, you make an ass out of you and me.
It was well known. No, I heard it from somewhere.
Project Veritas also released some stuff. I mean, there's a lot of crazy shit going on. I guess we'll get to the bottom of it. It seems like the three lawyers and Rudy Giuliani and Sidney Powell and Jenna, all these lawyers are doing the DOJ's job and the FBI's job. Apparently, the FBI doesn't like Trump for some apparent reason, they're supposed to be non-biased, but apparently they're biased, and they're not doing a damn thing. And Bill Barr is sitting around not doing a fucking thing either. And they're just and unfortunately, Rudy Giuliani and Trump's legal team is the one that's having to battle fraud, which is a crime in this country, which is supposed to be handled by law enforcement agencies, not by lawyers hired by Donald Trump. It is so sad to see this country in a position where lawyers are the ones that are having to bring this madness and this fraud and this illegal activity that's been going on to light. That being said, God bless you, God bless your families, and God bless America. Guys, stay positive, stay tuned, stay informed. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, The Republican Nation, on Facebook, A Republican Podcast, and on every other social media outlet, Parler, I'm The Republican Nation as well, and Twitter, The Republican Nation as well. Guys, if you would like to be a guest on my show, feel free to send me an email through my website at therepublicannation.com, or you can send me a straight email to my assistant at arepublicannation@gmail.com. Looking forward to hearing from you guys. I love all my viewers. My listeners, my viewers. I enjoy every single one of you. I love all the positive feedback you guys leave me on Instagram, on Facebook, and the emails you guys tell me, telling me how much I give you guys a positive feel on everything that's going on. I appreciate it. I appreciate every listener out there. I'm extremely grateful. We're getting bigger, and we're going to continue to grow this podcast with the support of you guys out there. So thank you so much for tuning in.
America great again.
Hey, this is Corey Lewandowski, and I just want to call and say thank you for all that you're doing to run your small podcast called The Republican Nation. Look, I know that it's not easy sometimes to run a podcast, but I want to call and say thank you for having everybody tune into The Republican Nation, where America always comes first. So let's keep America great. Let's continue to support President Trump and all those that have supported him throughout the last 5 years. I can tell you something, that our fight is not over. We'll continue to make sure that we're putting America first, and that those on the left who want to have socialism determine our future will never be successful. All the best to you, and there's still more fight in us. You take care.
Hi, it's Judge Janine. I want to thank you for listening to the Republican Nation podcast. It's an important podcast to listen to because the Republican Nation is all about the Constitution, the First Amendment, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, and all of those rights that are important to all of us. We've got to make sure that America doesn't lose any of those rights and that we stay true to our founding fathers' intent. So thanks again for listening to the Republican Nation.